Don't fucking shoot anybody. You don't want to be the son of a bitch who started a war. They need an hour to burn the classified. I need you to hold. If you shoot one person, they're gonna kill every single one of us in here.
Hi everyone, I'm Johnny, and today I'm recommending the movie Argo, a true CIA spy story set in Iran. This is a big budget film with a great cast, high production value, and has received good reviews all round. I'd highly recommend it historically. It offers a great introduction to Iran's history of hostility with the West. Argo is based on a true story with dramatic license. That true story is the Canadian Caper. The Canadian Caper was a joint rescue operation between the CIA and the Canadian government of 6 American diplomats who escaped during the violent seizure of the United States Embassy in Tehran in November of 1979. Canadian diplomats subsequently sheltered the 6 Americans. The plot to rescue the 6 was highly creative, involving a cover story for 2 CIA officers and the 6 American diplomats who would pose as a Canadian film crew. The crew's purpose was to scout Iran for a location to film a science fiction movie titled Argo. Though the movie will highly dramatize these events, it does a great job of setting the climate and providing some background information on the situation in Iran in 1979. Given Iran's geographical location, it has a brutal history of being caught in imperialistic conflicts, despite historically trying to maintain its neutrality. During World War I, Iran was occupied by British, Russian, and Ottoman forces, leading to a famine that killed millions. In World War II, Iran was again invaded, this time jointly by British and Soviet forces. The Soviets wouldn't withdraw until months after the war, and also backed pro-Soviet separatist movements. In 1953, the American CIA and British MI6 supported a coup d'etat, effectively quashing democracy in the nation, in favor of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who favored the West, Western oil companies, and modernization. The Iranian Revolution would overthrow the Pahlavi dynasty in 1979, and Pahlavi would flee the country and undergo cancer treatment in the United States. America's ties to the Shah led to Iranian revolutionaries calling for revenge against America. The Iranians, or moreover a mob of revolutionary students, took 52 American hostages at the American embassy for 444 days before their eventual release. But the movie focuses more on the 6 hostages and the CIA attempts to save them. The film does ignore British and New Zealand involvement and downplays Canadian involvement. The group stayed one night at the British residential compound, and New Zealand diplomats also worked on backup plans to hide and transport the diplomats. One of the 6 additionally stayed temporarily with a Swedish diplomat. The movie attempts to paint the Americans as more isolated than they were, before eventually being sheltered at 2 Canadian government households over 79 days. The movie Argo that was to be used in the cover story for the escape was real. It had already begun pre-filming production and had existing concept art, but it was abandoned due to funds being embezzled. c.i.a. disguise and exfiltration experts Tony Mendez, played by Ben Affleck, and Ed Johnson, not featured in the film, did seek out help from real Hollywood professionals, including John Chambers, played by John Goodman. The CIA funded a functioning studio office called Studio 6 Productions, a nod to the 6 diplomats. The fake studio released promotional material to the press and even held a film party at a nightclub in LA. Though the 6 naturally spent their 79 days in a tense environment, their escape was less dramatic than on film. One of the biggest challenges was training the diplomats to lie in a short period of time. However, the airport escape was anticlimactic in real life, and the necessity of the studio backstory is debatable and was never tested under Iranian scrutiny. Amazingly by coincidence, the plane used to leave the country, true to history, was a Swiss Air aircraft named Argo, though with a different spelling. Though the movie is dramatic, the Americans and Canadians were genuinely risking their lives. The plan involved significant risk, particularly once the CIA were involved, as all members could have been tried and executed as spies. 7 Canadians received the Order of Canada for their involvement, and Canadian Ambassador Ken Taylor was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. Arguably, the movie could have been more interesting and closer to the truth if it had focused more on Taylor. Tony Mendez and Ed Johnson would be awarded the Intelligence Star. Overall, you have to forgive movies like these for manipulating some of the facts. This event was highly complex, with many characters. Furthermore, creating some external drama allows the viewer to feel some of the real fear these people were experiencing. Every possible what-if scenario must have been playing through their heads. Alright, I'm Johnny. Do check out Argo. It should have something for everyone, whether you like a suspenseful movie with a good cast, or you're just interested in Cold War era spy history. Do like and subscribe to support the channel. We'll see you next time, and have a nice rest of your day.